this video, I'm going to show you how to make the Pinwheel Bobble Blanket. This blanket uses just 2 stitches, single crochet and a bobble stitch, and it is worked in 32 stitch by 32 row repeats. This tutorial will cover how to make each stitch as well as the stitch sequence for all 32 rows that will be repeated throughout the pattern. I've also included a link in the description to the PDF pattern for anyone who prefers to have written instructions or a stitch grid to refer to. Before we start crocheting, we need to gather our materials. You will need scissors, a yarn needle, an 8 or 5mm hook, and a worsted weight yarn. I chose to use Lily Sugar and Cream in teal, and in general I would recommend using a medium to light colored yarn to allow the texture of the bobbles to really stand out. The amount of yarn you'll need will vary based on the size of your blanket, so you can use the formulas shown here to estimate the total yardage that you will need. As I mentioned before, this blanket uses a 32 stitch by 32 row repeat. Rather than talking you through all 1024 stitches in that sequence, I'll go over the first couple of rows slowly so you can get a good handle on the stitches and the way the instructions are formatted, and then the written instructions for the remaining rows will be displayed one at a time so you can pause the video and work through them at your own pace. To begin, we will make a slip knot, and place it on our hook. And then we will chain a multiple of 32 plus 2 more. So that could be a total of 34, 66, 98, 130, or even more if you'd like. I'm going to chain 130 for my blanket. To make each chain, you're going to yarn over, which means wrap your yarn around your hook. Then you're going to grab that yarn with your hook and pull it through the loop. Again, it's yarn over, then pull through the loop on your hook. One more time slowly, yarn over, pull through the loop on your hook. For row 1, you will notice some abbreviations in the instructions. CH stands for chain, and SC stands for single crochet. So that means for row 1, we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. So to do that, we'll first have to identify the second chain from the hook. This is our first chain from the hook, and this one is our second. So to make our single crochet, we'll insert our hook into that second chain from the hook, and then we will yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, and this time we'll pull through both loops on the hook. And that is one single crochet. So let's make another one. We're going to insert our hook into the next chain, and then yarn over, pull up one loop, and then yarn over, and pull through both loops. One more time slowly, we insert our hook into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So we're going to repeat that all the way across the chain, and at the end, the number of single crochets you have made should be equal to 1 less than the total number of chains you made. So for mine, I had made 130 chains, so I'm going to have 129 single crochets. After you've finished all of your single crochets for row 1, you're going to flip your work over so that you're ready to begin working the next row. For row 2, we have another abbreviation, 5DCBLOB, which stands for 5 double crochet back loop only bobble. That's kind of a mouthful, so I'm just going to say bobble when I'm talking about it. You'll also see some asterisks and brackets, and when you see those, you know that the instructions within them are going to be repeated. To start row 2, we'll chain 1 and single crochet in the very first stitch. So we'll make our chain the exact same way we made it when we're making our foundation chain, just yarn over and pull up a loop. And then for the single crochet, the stitch is going to be the same, but the space we're working into is a little bit different from row 1. In row 1, we were working into our foundation chain, but now we're working into the stitches from the previous row. So you can see this V shape across the top of your stitches, and that's where we're going to be inserting our hook. So for the single crochet, you're going to insert your hook through both loops of that V, and then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops, just like we did in the previous row. Next, we have a bobble and a single crochet in asterisk. So to make our bobble stitch, we're going to be working just in the back loop of this V. That's why we call it a back loop only bobble. So to make your stitch, you'll start with a yarn over and then insert your hook into that back loop. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through one loop, and then you will yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to do that a total of 5 times, where we yarn over, insert our hook in the same spot as we did before, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. A third time, we yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Do that 2 more times. And now we've done that a total of 5 times, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on our hook. So to finish our bobble, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops that are on our hook. And that is a bobble stitch. We'll follow it with a single crochet, which we already know how to do. And every time we work a bobble in this pattern, we're always going to follow it with a single crochet. Since the 2 stitches we just worked were inside of asterisks, we know that they'll be repeated. In this case, we'll complete that sequence a total of 8 times. I'll go over the bobble slowly a couple more times as we work through that. So for your bobble, you yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then repeat that 4 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. That was twice. And again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. It was 3 times, so now a 4th time. And a 5th time. Then we will finish our bobble, yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and then follow with a single crochet. So now we've completed that sequence inside the asterisks twice. One more time, I'll go slowly through the bobble. Yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That was our 2nd time. Now yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That was 3. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That was 4. Last one, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have 6 loops on our hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. And then we follow with a single crochet. So we've done that sequence 3 times now. We have to do it 5 more times. Now that I've completed that bobble single crochet sequence a total of 8 times, I'll move on to the next step, which is single crochet 14. After those 14 single crochets, we have one more bobble and then a single crochet. I've finished the second row, and if I flip it over, you can already see the pattern starting to take shape with the bobbles. Now that you know how to make all the stitches and read the instructions, I'll let you work the rest of your blanket on your own with written instructions and photos to guide you. Once your blanket is the size that you want it to be, you're going to finish it off with a simple single crochet border so that all of the edges will be nice and clean. To start the border, you're going to chain 1 and then single crochet in each stitch across until there's only 1 stitch remaining. Once you get to that last stitch, you're going to work 3 single crochets into that 1 stitch. And you can see that those 3 single crochets are on the top, the corner, and the side of that stitch. So from here, we're going to turn our work a little bit and begin working down the side of the blanket. So for this, we're going to make 1 single crochet in the side of each row until we're 1 row away from the bottom. Once you get to that last row, we're going to do the same thing we did when we got to the first corner. We're going to work 3 single crochets in that space. Again, we'll have one of those stitches on the side that we've been working on, one in the corner, and one coming around to the next side. So next we're going to work single crochets across the bottom of our blanket where we have our foundation chain. And the same thing as we've been doing on the other sides, we're going to work 1 single crochet in each space across. When you get to the last stitch, we're again going to work 3 single crochets in the same space to form the corner. We're now onto the last side of the border, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in the side of each row until there's 1 row remaining. When you get to the last row on this side, you're going to work 2 single crochets into that final space. And then to finish your border, you're going to make a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the border. So to make a slip stitch, you'll insert your hook into the stitch, and then you'll yarn over, and you're going to pull through the stitch and also through the loop that is on your hook. Now that the border is done, you can go ahead and cut your yarn and tie off. When you cut, you'll want to leave about a 6-inch tail for weaving in. To weave in your ends, you'll start by threading your yarn through your needle. You'll then insert your needle through 1 or multiple stitches, and then you can pull through your yarn. You'll want to do that a few times, working in multiple directions so that your tail will be secure. Once you feel that your tail is secure, you can grab the end and pull it tight, and then use your scissors to cut it. Then you can flatten back out your edge. If you'd like, you can block your project. I do this by pinning it to a flat surface and then using a handheld steamer to smooth out any wobbly edges. With that, your Pinwheel Bobble Blanket is complete.